The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
All right, Mike Turner, if you would open us up with a statement about this week's game against the Limestone Saints.
Well, it's senior day at Limestone, and I know those kids will be excited and fired up and ready to play. It's going to be it is a challenge. Anytime you go on the road in this league to play, it's a challenge. We've got had a great win last week on the road. We've got to have a great week of preparation. They've got athletes on that football team. They've got kids defensively and offensively that can run and make plays. So we've got to be prepared, have a great plan going in, and stick with it, and make sure that we're of the right mindset.
Talking about playing well on the road, certainly did that from the jump against Mars Hill. What did you see out of your team that needs to be replicated when you head over to Gaffney?
Well, I think playing that way where you've got a great mindset about you. You're not going to let things go on the outside be distractions to you. And I think it was a great example of three parts of a football team playing together and complementing each other at the same time.
You think of Limestone, you think, feels like he's been there forever, but the quarterback, DJ Phillips, transfer out of Marshall, who is just a load at 6'7", 245.
Right.
What challenges does he pose back in the pocket?
Well, he's a challenge and from the part that he has. They have packages set up for him that he's designated runner, the draws, that type of thing, showing the option in their offense there where he's a threat to get outside with it. But he's got receivers there that are athletes and can make plays.
Two good running backs behind him in Jerquoya Patton and Malik Brooks. Patton, the freshman of the year in the league a couple of years ago. What's different, what's similar about them as they share carries?
Well, I think they're part of the product that they have, the spread, and they've got quite a bit of offense about them. They hit you with the zones and the spreads, some option in there, and then also backs out of the backfield. So they're a very dangerous offensive team.
At linebacker, D'Amico Pryor has kind of stepped up and seized the role of their top defender, at least in terms of tackles. What do you see out of their defense that's tough to go against?
Well, you see athletes, kids that can run. They're tall kids with great movement about them. They've got lockdown players at corner that'll come up and play you press man, so they've got a great package on defense.
You look on the other side of the football for you defensively, and boy, the secondary has risen up and done some special things here over the last 5 weeks of football or so. 5 straight weeks with an interception, back-to-back weeks with multiple picks. What can you say about the job that that senior group has done and the job that Larry Slade and Antonio Goss have done coaching?
Well, they've done a great job in putting them in the right place, having to prepare them to have a chance to be successful. Those guys, the guys in the secondary have done a good job with their eyes. Also playing with more confidence about a little bit tighter, little locking down some areas there and having great coverage. But, it goes back to, their expectations. They expect to make plays. And, gosh, if we can and play in a game where they got 4 takeaways and we only got 1 turnover that we had there late in the game, then that's what you're looking for.
I think it's fair to say this team is a little dinged and nicked at this point in the year. How proud are you of this team for having the next man up attitude? It feels like you haven't missed a beat in spite of some pretty sizable injuries.
Well, they have been, and they've done a great job in the training room. Our training room staff getting those kids in rehab, getting them ready to play. But our kids, I think, got a great heart about them. I really do. And I think they're at a point where they want to play. And that has a whole lot to do with it right there, the part about wanting to play and being willing to I may not be able to go full speed this day, but the next day I'll be ready to go.
You mentioned, you kind of alluded to that, wanting to play, and certainly playoffs looms. At the end of this thing, if you handle your business, what have you seen out of your team's mentality that makes you think, hey, this team has a chance to write its own story?
Well, I think it does. I think it's from the very beginning of the year, I thought we had a chance to be able to do that, and I'm excited for them to have a chance to write a good story here at the end to put themselves in a position to be in the playoffs. But I also think they've got a good mindset about them, about you don't look anywhere down the road. Right now, we're already in a playoff mode. We have been the last couple of weeks. So when you have that kind of mode, you're not apt to look down the road too far down.
Is it easier to have that mentality when, Mars Hill, Craig Rucker, it's hard to look past a player of that talent. Same goes for Limestone and what they have offensively and defensively. Is it easier to stay in the moment when each week you really don't have a chance to look ahead because of how good?
Oh, I think so. I think when you look at video and you see the talent that's offense and defense that they have, like Mars Hill with Craig Rucker, I think you got to be at your top of your game, and you also know that those people, this is going to be a Super Bowl for them. It's senior day down there, the last home game, so they're going to be wide open and not hold anything back, and we've got to match that enthusiasm. We've got to match that desire.
Antonio Wimbush moved up to third on the all-time rushing yards list Saturday, eighth on the rushing touchdowns list against Mars Hill. He's got a ways to catch Kenneth Tyson and Robert Thomas, but what do you expect out of him as he heads down the stretch run of his senior career?
Oh, I think he's going to be stronger and stronger as we go along. We all know the story of him and how hard he's worked to get himself back to be in this position to play. And, you could just see, like we talked about already, about the gleam in his eye on Saturday. He was fired up and ready to go. And, one of those kind of backs is a treasure to have in the backfield.
Is that a little contagious when he gets that way?
Oh, I think so. I think everybody feeds off of him in different positions. Other players feed off of other guys that are leaders or older, maybe in those positions. But, yeah, I think he's been a great example for our kids.